Hey folks, today is Friday, August 15th, 2025. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. Quite an interesting bit of news this week. Gamescom is next week in Cologne, Germany, so there's going to be a bunch of announcements coming there. We'll talk about that next week, so subscribe if you haven't. Statistically, a lot of you haven't, so consider that. Just to stay up to date on this stuff, I'm here every Friday, but before Gamescom, we are getting some cool new reveals. Check this out. This is Neo Berlin 2087. We talked about this last year when this was initially revealed, but now it looks like it's a bit further along in development. This is a big, flashy, glitzy, cyberpunk-inspired game. It looks like it's set in a futuristic world, and the developers Elysium Games are billing it a unique third and first-person action RPG crafted for fans of immersive single-player experiences. What we did see in this trailer looks incredibly cinematic, and yeah, it does seem like they're doing first person and third person with some chaotic looking flashy first person shooting and third person shooting that looks like it might have like slow-mo Max Payne dives and stuff. It's got sci-fi, it's got cyberpunk stuff, it's got robots, it's got drones, it's got cool guns, it's got slow motion, it's got gritty rainy stuff, open air stuff, zombies. Like, this game seems like it has everything. Comments on the trailer are all saying a lot of stuff. People are pretty critical of this. I'm still gonna wait and see. Some people are saying like it might be another Mind's Eye, or it's just like a mashup of a bunch of stuff with a shiny coat of paint. Personally, I'm willing to at least wait and see what happens. Last year at Gamescom, this game was there. I was actually able to meet the head of the studio. He came right up to me and he was like, "Hey, you said our game doesn't look real." It is real. So I respect that. Still, we need to judge it when we get the final product in our hands. We have had a lot of moments where we get from, smaller studios, these big, awesome, flashy trailers, and then the end product doesn't really end up being that result. But all I can do is hope for the best here. If this does turn out to be a good game, there's another good game in the universe. So I'm always going to root for that. I know I kind of always say that. I might be a broken record, but yeah. So we'll just wait and see on this one. Next up, this video is brought to you by our longtime sponsor, Vessie. If you're new, Vessie has been providing really dependable, comfortable footwear for years now. Not only do they look cool as hell, but also they're 100% waterproof, which right now is absolutely clutch. It's the summer. It's swampy, it's muggy, it's raining. So whether you're out in the woods, on hikes, getting into adventures, or more like me, you're more in urban areas filled with the overfilled drains and puddles, you can rest easy knowing that you can step in anything and your socks will remain dry. I've said this before, but Vessie's always coming up with new different shapes, colors, sizes for all different types of people, preferences, situations, but check out one of their go-tos. This is the Weekend. If you don't know, the Weekend is like their tried and true pair. They've had these for years. They are perfected, time-tested. They're incredibly lightweight, the lightest shoe, very easy to slip on. And then, of course, the waterproof capability is clutch. They're easy to clean, they're lightweight, they're breathable, doesn't feel like a waterproof shoe, so you're set. Step in some mud on your way to work, these just wipe right off. It is that easy. So if you want to check out the Vessie Weekend sneakers or anything else they offer, all you got to do is click the link in the description down below or head to vessie.com/gameranx. Enjoy the rest of the summer and get 15% off your first pair. This is backed by a 1-year warranty and 30-day hassle-free returns, by the way. Again, that's vessie.com/gameranx to get 15% off your first pair. Check it out, and big thanks to Vessie for sponsoring this video. Next up, if you were thinking that Grand Theft Auto 6 might be delayed again, it seems like the parent company is pretty confident. Apparently, the May 26, 2026 release date is gonna hold on console, specifically because Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick did pretty much double down on it. The quote is, "My level of conviction is very, very high. Rockstar does have a lot of other things going on, but this is, of course, the primary focus." Strauss Zelnick is head of corporate speak. He does fluff things up quite a bit. We talked about some other quotes he made last week in the previous Friday show, but yeah. I'll link the whole interview. He did say a lot of stuff like saying, and I quote, "Some of our competitors have realized maybe a little late in the day that consumers are not okay with okay," saying good is the new bad, great is the new great, whatever, dude. Just put the fries in the bag, as the kids say. But by that, I mean, just give us the games. Like I said, if you want to read up on the whole interview, that's all linked in the description down below with everything I talk about. Next up, Battlefield 6. In case you missed it, there was the open beta for everybody last weekend. Some pretty positive sentiment coming out about it. And now, this weekend, another open beta. So you might already be jumping in, but I do want to talk about the numbers. The news came out that this thing last week on PC crossed 500,000 concurrent players, which is huge. For context, that actually surpassed Call of Duty's record that was set previously. And yes, it's just essentially a free demo, not a paid game. But still, I think that shows that there is resurging interest in Battlefield. I think people want something different than Call of Duty, and I think Battlefield fans in general have just been waiting for something good after 2042, so I'm hoping this all works out. I hope EA doesn't screw this one up. Of course, I previewed Battlefield, I have said positive things about it, and I really hope they can hammer it home. Now, in terms of games releasing this week, a couple of things. Drag X Drive for Nintendo Switch 2. This is the wheelchair basketball game, which I did play a little bit of, and I'm going to be honest, I thought it was kind of cool as a concept. Look, I also really liked ARMS for Nintendo Switch 1. I was like a big ARMS guy, and nobody wanted to play with me, and it's probably going to be the same with this one. But that's out if you're interested. Also, if you like sports, Madden NFL 26 dropped this week. But because this video comes out on Fridays, I think it's good to mention like early releases next week. So don't miss Stick It to the Stickman here. This just looks like a physics-based, chaotic 2D fighter, brawler, beat 'em up. I remember back in the day playing all types of stick figure, Stickman, Flash games on various crappy websites, so I love seeing stuff like this kind of return. That drops August 18th, and then on August 19th, check out Sword of the Sea. This is from Giant Squid Studios. This is Matt Nava, the guy behind the art for Journey, who went on to make a studio and do The Pathless and Abzu. This is their next game, and you're surfing around on a sword. If you like Journey, stuff like that, maybe this is one to keep on your radar. Also, in some interesting news that was like kind of on the tail end of last week, we didn't have it in the show, but Sony and Bungie, it seems like the relationship is changing, and reports are coming out suggesting that Sony is essentially tightening the clamps on Bungie, who, since Sony acquired them, have been able to operate pretty independently, but I guess now, with all the investment and issues with Marathon, that may change, with Sony saying, and I quote, their Bungie's independence is getting lighter. VGC caught this in Sony's like financial results thing. They did a Q&A after, and Sony's CFO said that we expect the launch to happen within the fiscal year. That would be before April 2026. So having said that, this is not a commitment. No official announcement has been given yet. So yeah, possibly we could see Bungie's Marathon before April 2026. It was obviously scheduled to come out relatively soon, and that's been delayed. I think it needs a lot of work. I have seen it, I have played it, but for the people thinking that Bungie and Sony was just going to axe this thing, just take this thing out to pasture and kill it, doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, just judging from the statements here. And also, they have so much money invested in it, I assume, that they got to try and see something from it, especially after the whole Concord debacle. Personally, I hope they turn it around. I want to see Bungie do well. Even if Marathon isn't really my type of game, again, a good game is better than no game at all. But just with Bungie and how things have been going, like with Destiny 2 and how things have been handled recently, not being a Destiny guy, but hearing my friend Skill Up kind of complain about it, coupled with just how they've been handling Marathon, I do feel like some sort of changes are inevitable. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Also, in terms of gameplay snippets, if you're looking for a little bit more of a morsel, we got a little bit of new Ghost of Yotei gameplay. This is just highlighting one of the new weapon types called a Yari. This is like the long stick with a blade on the end. And I'm watching it right now, and it does look extremely sick. Very short tease. I thought it was cool. I really hope this game is good because I loved Ghost of Tsushima. Also, this kind of flew under the radar, but a lot of people are looking forward to Crimson Desert. Whenever we mention it in a video, people are pretty hyped for it. It seems ambitious. It's trying to do a lot, kind of like Neo Berlin, but it's delayed. So it was expected to drop this year. Now it has been delayed to Q1 2026. It didn't seem like it was a big announcement, or I didn't see a lot of people really mention it, so I figured I would point that out here. This is another one I have been able to preview behind the scenes, and it does seem pretty cool. It could definitely use a little bit more work, but I don't know. I think it might be pretty cool. I think it could probably still use some fine tuning and some polish and stuff like that, but I do think it's shaping up to be something very interesting. Also, one other thing I wanted to point out, if you're like me, I am a Max Payne head. Like I love Max Payne from day one. It's one of my favorite things. And I've been wanting to hear something about that remake that Remedy is apparently working on with Rockstar. And now we got a little bit of an update. This comes via Insider Gaming and Remedy's own words in their 2025 half-year financial report, essentially saying that the game remains in full production, things are going well. Quote, collaboration with Rockstar Games remains close and productive, ensuring alignment as the project advances towards its next major phase. So that's something a lot of people didn't realize, but this is, Remedy is working on this game and Rockstar is working on this game because Rockstar is kind of working out like a publishing thing with Remedy for this. I think that's a good arrangement. And I'm happy to at least hear that this project still exists and it's going along because I love Max Payne. And for new people to experience Max Payne, that could be pretty exciting. You guys probably remember, if you follow me on social media, I got to visit Remedy's studio in Finland a couple months ago. No, I was not able to see anything Max Payne involved. They literally were hiding it from me as much as I asked. But really, that's where we're at. That's the news this week. So let me know what you think about everything we talked about from Neo Berlin. Like, what do you think? Do you think the game looks cool? Do you think it looks too ambitious for its own good, biting off more than it can chew? Do you think it's a game? Do you think it's not a game? Do you think it's a mind's eye? Let's talk about that. Also, GTA 6, May 26th, 2026. Do you think that release date's going to actually hold? And let's just talk about everything that released this week, stuff you've been playing. Be sure to let us know in the pinned comment down below. Reply to that comment. Let us know what you're currently playing. I always ask because it legit helps for us, like research-wise, to know what you guys are playing. So thank you for that. But if you want to yell at me directly, you can find me on social media, at Jake Baldino. But that's really it. That's all I got for you guys this week. Again, Gamescom's next week. We're probably going to be jam-packed with more news, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Clicking the like button helps this channel out a lot. Thank you. I'm here every Friday giving you the news, but catch me on Before You Buys and in various videos. For now, have a great weekend. Be safe. Pizza's on me. See ya.